Hello, everybody. Thank you for attending today's MassChallenge Texas 2020 webinar. We are excited to tell you more about this year's accelerators and competitions here in Texas. So a little bit about what we will cover today. We'll discuss who MassChallenge is, the MassChallenge Advantage, our program benefits. We'll talk about the application process, and then there'll be time for Q&A. So who is MassChallenge? MassChallenge is a global not-for-profit zero equity startup accelerator that provides early stage startups with the access and resources they need to break down barriers and clear hurdles that typically get in the way of a startup's ability to grow and scale and therefore make impact in the world. All MassChallenge programs operate through a unique competition-based model that is industry agnostic and helps to identify and strengthen the next generation of ideas, tools, and technologies. At the end of our programs, we award equity-free cash prizes. Over the last 10 years, MassChallenge has awarded more than $16 million in equity-free cash prizes, and in Texas, we've awarded $1,050,000 in equity-free cash prizes and funding opportunities to startups from our programs. All of the benefits of the MassChallenge programs are extended to startups who are participating for free. There's no equity taken, there's no strings attached. On this slide, you can see the accomplishments of the MassChallenge portfolio over the last decade. To date, MassChallenge has helped more than 2,400 startups who have created more than 150,000 jobs, raised more than $6 billion in funding, and generated $3 billion in revenue. The Texas programs launched in 2017 with our flagship program taking place in Austin. In 2019, MassChallenge Texas expanded to Houston. Our goal in Texas is to make the Lone Star State the best place in the world to innovate. Since our launch, we have helped 181 startups who have created more than 6,000 jobs, raised $74 million in funding, and generated over $31 million in revenue. This data proves that the MassChallenge model works. The MassChallenge model is based on our network, which is a massive global ecosystem that includes key players in bringing new ideas to life. MassChallenge works with universities, governments, angels and VCs, businesses and foundations, experts, mentors, media and influencers, and startups, of course, to name a few, to create programs and build bridges that will help startups win. MassChallenge's reputation is rooted in the success of our startups. To date, MassChallenge has 87% of our alumni still active or have been acquired. 46% of all MassChallenge startups have at least one female founder. And in an independent research study, we learned that MassChallenge alumni are 3 times more likely to hire 15 employees and 2.5 times more likely to raise at least $500,000 in funding. The reason those two data points are important is because those are two numbers that investors look at during the long due diligence process. As an oversimplification, when a startup has people who are working for them, that looks really good to investors. Getting up to 15 employees shows responsibility and trust. For the $500,000 in funding, that's important because that's the size of a solid friends and family or angel round. That is a strong foundation for a startup to build on, and a strong round like that shows future investors that others were willing to bet on you. MassChallenge Texas is laser focused on making Texas the best place in the world to innovate. We are doing this by shining a light on all that Texas has to offer through the MassChallenge model. The Texas programs are poised to support up to 200 startups this year between both our programs in Austin and Houston. Our program includes a 4-month accelerator that will take place from June to October. There is a unique and tailored programming that follows the life cycle of the startup. There's bespoke mentorship from industry experts, unrivaled access to our corporate partners in Texas and the MassChallenge global ecosystem. And this year, we're offering up to $750,000 in equity-free cash. These prizes will most likely break out in up to $250,000 for Houston and up to $500,000 in Austin. I also want to call out our community, or our corporate and civic partners here. Our corporate and civic partners, who include WeWork, TMAC, Upstream, Central Houston, City of Houston, the Downtown Redevelopment Authority, BAE Systems, BHP, Ingram Micro, NRG, UPS, Winstead, the Texas Foundation for Innovative Communities, and many, many more. So let's talk about additional program benefits that are specific to what's happening in Texas. One of the benefits of this year's MassChallenge Texas program is that we're creating a hyper-connected community for startups across the two cities. This way, startups can connect with more resources across the state and the world. With the two programs running simultaneously, participating startups will get connected to the other program by having access to each other's program and curriculum and events calendar, by having opportunities to connect to programming via a live webcast. You'll also get access to an online curriculum library with different materials from the workshops, classes, and presentations. You'll get access to key experts in both markets, and those experts serve as your mentors, the judges, and the teachers in the program as well. And top startups from each program will be invited to participate in the showcase portion of the other city's award ceremony and finale, again giving more startups direct access to both of these communities. And an additional benefit to this year's program is that while you'll have statewide access and hyper-connected communities, participating startups will leverage the unique strength of the local cities and ecosystems. Let's talk about Austin first. Austin's greatest strength for early stage startups is the established ecosystem. There's over a decade's worth of efforts coming together to create the convergence of business and technology that we are experiencing in the state's capital right now. Because of this, there are a lot of resources available to startups, from co-working spaces to more than 20 accelerators and incubators to an eager community of passionate individuals who want to help and collaborate. All of this energy is attracting more businesses and investment firms to the area. In the last 18 months, there are something like 15 investment firms that have moved to or opened offices in Houston. Austin is also well positioned to support startups focused on high-tech solutions. Austin is the SaaS capital of the world, after all. Key industries for Austin include high-tech, health tech and life sciences, consumer packaged goods, and social impact. The increase in community activity is also attracting a lot of groups from the Department of Defense, including AFWorks, the Army's Future Command, the Defense Innovation Unit, and more. This makes Austin a great place for startups with application in defense innovation. While the Austin community has some of the most collaborative resources you'll see across the state, it's the size of the MassChallenge Texas program that really helps startups stand out and rise above the noise. And lastly, in Austin, we are continuing our partnership with WeWork, which offers a 6-month complimentary global community membership to all Austin program startup participants. This membership provides startups with access to WeWork anywhere in the world. Have a meeting in London? Feel free to use a WeWork. In Houston, the biggest benefit to the startups are twofold. First, the startup ecosystem is young and hungry, and they are ready to help. This is a citywide initiative for Houston. Second, there is an established business ecosystem ready to support and work with startups to help them plant roots, grow, and scale. This creates a lot of cross-collaboration opportunities for startups to leverage expertise from different industries. Houston is also the place where people go to solve big industrial problems. Key industries in Houston include energy, manufacturing, oil and gas, space, healthcare and life sciences, supply chain logistics, and many more. As a first mover in the market, a lot of resources are centered around the MassChallenge Texas program. Literally speaking, the program's office space is located in the downtown launch pad, which is at the center of Houston's innovation corridor, connecting downtown Houston to the Texas Medical Center. In addition to this year's programs is the inclusion of industry-specific tracks. These are 3 tracks that are running in specific cities, and startups in the track will need to participate in the location where the track is taking place. So what this means is that in Austin, we have a defense innovation track. The Defense Innovation Track is the opportunity for startups to connect with the DoD and affiliates and work toward providing solutions that will advance the military's work in protecting American citizens at home and abroad. For this track, we are looking for startups in the intelligence, artificial intelligence, aerospace, security, cybersecurity, mobile communication, data analytics, machine learning, hardware, drones, troop support, surveillance, sensors, and battery industries. What we are also looking for are startups that have dual use applications, meaning their solution is applicable in the private space, and it's also applicable to the Department of Defense. In Houston this year, we have the space commercialization and sports tech tracks. The space commercialization track works with startups addressing challenges in commercializing the space industry through solutions including, but not limited to, human health performance and recovery, material science, analytics, advanced manufacturing, robotics, and relevant technologies with an application in space. The sports tech track supports startups that are addressing challenges faced by professional and collegiate athletes, teams, and leagues through solutions including, but not limited to, human health performance and recovery, material science, analytics, or fan experience and engagement. Participants in these tracks will receive access to specific industry professionals, mentorship, and curriculum. Fear not, though, you do not have to be a startup with applications in these industries to apply to our programs. MassChallenge supports all startups from all industries from anywhere in the world. These are specialty tracks that have room for up to 10 startups in each track. We are seeking up to 200 startups from this year's program, so there's plenty of room for startups with businesses and applications outside of these industries. So who is eligible for our programs? That's easy. All early stage startups. We define early stage startups as those who have raised less than $1 million in funding or generated less than $2 million in revenue. This is an or because these standards are guidelines, not hard and fast rules. MassChallenge is focused on helping all startups win. It has happened where a startup has exceeded one of the outlined standards and was able to position themselves to take advantage of the MassChallenge program and got in. We are seeking high impact, high potential ideas or businesses, startups that are poised to change the way we live, work, and play. These startups can come from all industries and all locations. And for each program, startups must complete an engagement agreement that is the startup's commitment to engage consistently in the program. This includes participating in classes, attending events, and working out of the office space. Each program's engagement criteria vary slightly, but they are all equally attainable so that startups can complete and pull value from the program while building their businesses and living their lives. So no, startups do not have to relocate to the city where the program is taking place, but one founder from the program must engage consistently, which means there are key dates that you will have to be in either Austin or Houston to participate. So let's talk about the application process. This can be a cumbersome process. Everyone starts by going to the website accelerate.masschallenge.org. In this platform, you will create a user profile. Then you will create a startup profile. After you're done with your startup profile, that's when you will pay the application fee and enter your discount code. After that, you will complete and submit your application. You must pay the application fee and/or enter your discount codes at that point to get the application fee reduced or waived to unlock the rest of the application so that you can complete and submit it. After the application date close, all of the applications are reviewed by our judges, and 3 to 5 experts will review each startup applicant's submission. Then startup applicants will receive the feedback from their judges. With this feedback, startups will be notified if they are invited to round 2 in-person judging. For the startups that are invited to round 2 in-person judging, you will have 20 minutes to present your business to a panel of industry-specific judges. After this round of judging, the startups will receive feedback from the judges that are present during their pitch, along with the decisions of whether or not they are invited into the 2020 cohorts. This is a long, in-depth process, we know. But according to some startups, this is one of the biggest value adds of MassChallenge because startups receive valuable feedback regardless of if they make it into the program or not. In some cases, judges have left notes for the startups to connect with them directly to further discuss collaboration, support, or investment. And while it is not mandatory that startups go to the location where in-person judging is taking place, it is highly recommended and strongly encouraged that you do go to Austin or Houston when you're invited into round 2 judging. This will give you the chance to connect with our judges directly and speak directly to them about your business. It is a can't miss opportunity. However, if you are not able to make it to the city where the pitches are taking place, there will be a virtual component for those that cannot travel in. So program timeline at a glance. We are currently recruiting startups to be part of this year's competition, and applications close on March 9th. From March through May, we will do online and in-person judging. And then in late May, we will do the cohort announcements and tell founders if they have been invited to participate in one of this year's programs. From there, startups will have roughly 2 to 4 weeks to get ready for the start of the accelerator. The accelerators in both Austin and Houston will run from June to October. During the accelerators, the last 2 rounds of judging, which are how we determine the cash prize winners from each cohort, will take place in September. And then in October, early October, we will have the award ceremonies and finales in both Austin and Houston. Key dates: the early bird deadline has passed, so we don't need to worry about that. March 9th is the due date for all applications, and our system will shut down at 12 p.m. Central Time on March 9th. So do be sure to start your application as soon as possible. I mentioned earlier an application fee and a discount code. MassChallenge does charge a small $99 application fee. That is merely for engagement, and it's really easy to get reduced or for free. Please use the application discount code MCTX20webinar to receive 50% off of your application fee for watching this webinar today. And if you have any questions, there are 3 ways to engage. You can attend upcoming events and webinars, you can set up office hours with us, and you can reach out with questions. Just email masschallengetx@masschallenge.org to set up office hours or reach out with questions. And remember, you can always follow us on Facebook and Twitter at MassChallengeTX, and be sure to use the application discount code MCTX20webinar to receive 50% off of the application fee. We look forward to hearing from you soon and reviewing your applications. Have a great day.